Instagram Live. My name is Makita Waterman, or as my TikTok friends call me, Yeg Writer. I wanted to chat today about a topic that is on a lot of people's minds and companies' minds in regards to not getting customers, especially during this COVID-19 and new era, or feeling stuck as if you're creating a lot of videos and blogs and infographics here on social media for your email blasts, or even just videos on YouTube, and sharing them out with the world and finding that you're not getting any customers. The second half of this presentation will also be about Instagram Reels. I started Instagram Reels as far as uploading videos from TikTok for the past 5 days and had a lot more success than I was hoping for. Some of my videos have been getting hundreds of views within hours, within days, and yesterday morning when I uploaded one of my Instagram Reels, it actually ended up on the discovery page. Hey, thanks for joining, Dylan. Today's topic is a topic of people or customers or companies, shall I say, who are doing everything they can to put out videos and content on the internet, or even networking, and for some reason or another they're not getting customers, and what exactly each and every one of you who are on the line or will be watching this can do next. The first thing that I would do is, if you're starting off with videos or anything at all that you're sharing on the internet, is to look at each social media app and platform and see if there's a way that you can take a look at the number of views, the location to where people are located, and start segmenting or putting certain topics together. And even if you're testing different topics or different video types right now, try to take a look at a 1 to 2 week span of activity and how people are reacting to your blog posts or your videos or your social media posts. And that will pretty much tell you why, a part of the reason why you're not getting customers. And this information will be helpful because it will immediately tell yourself that as much as I want to hold on to this topic or way of communicating, obviously this is not working with my audience. And the thing is to not take this personal, because, Dylan says, we have been trying to post on LinkedIn. Oh, that's awesome, Dylan. I think you're definitely in the great spot. One thing that I can say about LinkedIn is, as you can probably tell on every post that we share, you can click the analytics and it will show you the job descriptions or the locations or the companies or the people that are working for, which will give you a real understanding of who your audience truly is. I could say, let me know, Dylan, if you ever had a chance to click on one of your videos or posts, and if you're noticing if maybe people from New York are looking or people in Toronto, let me know, because that'll be interesting. We can kind of go back and forth in the chat. But one thing I can say about my LinkedIn, now that we're on the topic, is I notice the same groups of people keep looking at my videos, and they always end up being directors, managers, business owners, consultants. Hi, thanks for joining, Quincy. Today's topic is if a company isn't seeing any kind of customer growth, what they can do next. The other thing that I've noticed too as well is on LinkedIn and other platforms, aside from the analytics, we should also be kind of paying attention to the comments that are being given back. And if your posts are, people are replying with emojis only, or maybe they're just thank yous or a couple of words in a sentence, that is kind of lukewarm responses to what you're putting out there. Now, if you're putting out content and people are sharing paragraphs of responses and they're expressing themselves in a heartfelt way that shows that they're really, feeling what you're sharing, that's more of an indicator that, okay, maybe these topics that are just getting likes or they're just getting emojis or thank yous, maybe I need to stop doing this. But the ones where people are sharing personal moments and they're sharing paragraphs or full sentences are the ones that are a little bit more engaging with people and hitting a certain spot in their mind or in their heart to let them know that this information is important to you. Aside from the social media stuff, as far as not getting customers, You also want to ask yourself, do I have email accounts of people that I've connected with in the past, previous customers, potential customers, people that I have met along the way at school and business, at work, or in life? And am I putting out newsletters? Am I putting out email blasts? Am I sharing blog posts? And if I'm sharing blog posts and I'm looking at the analytics, whether you are using Google Analytics for your websites, or maybe you're using a Wix.com feature or WordPress, etc., take a look and see how many people are actually clicking on your blogs. And if you're using software such as MailChimp or something like that, where you can actually look at the analytics of the email campaigns that you're doing, take a look at the topics that are getting more clicks, that are increasing website visits or increasing the number of people that are following on social media. And that will give you a real understanding of what's working, what's not, what you should be changing, what you should be holding back on, what you should be sharing more of. I also want to say that there's nothing wrong with testing new ideas and surprising people with content, because I don't know about you, but I can just talk about TikTok for now. I noticed that on the platform, the mindset of people changes really quickly, and I'm trying to understand the psychology behind it, but I'm just going to take a wild guess and say that because information comes at you quickly. There's a For You page, which is the page with your non-followers, and then there's a following page. I strongly believe that at least, or most people's attention spans on TikTok is very short. So if they keep seeing the same thing from you over and over again on a 2-month, 3-month span, for some reason or another, there's something that clicks in somebody's mind that says, I don't want to see this from this person anymore. So instead of leaving an unkind comment, I'm just going to swipe right through. And that's when I kind of noticed that certain things that were trending for 2 or 3 months in the beginning of COVID, I'll give you some examples. I would talk a lot about branding mistakes and marketing mistakes, and I noticed that was getting a lot of uptick the first couple of months in COVID. And then for some reason or another, in the middle of COVID to now, those topics don't matter to people anymore. So now I just said, okay, why don't I just test the TikTok news and Instagram news, because people are obsessed with the fact that Instagram is kind of copying TikTok features with the Instagram Reels. And because there are a lot of US people who are concerned about TikTok potentially being banned in the US. So then my problem-solving mindset said, let me switch the topics, and these topics are trending. Now, do I know if these topics will continue to trend if TikTok is not banned? Maybe people will care less about US TikTok news and how Instagram is copying and Facebook and Snapchat are copying TikTok. But it's just an example of saying immediately, okay, this trend that was working for me, it's not working for me anymore. I need to push out something new, maybe 2 or 3 different topics, and see how my audience and the general population of people here on this app are responding, and then put more of that out. And again, testing is the key to success when it comes to sharing videos, when it comes to sharing emails and blogs, anything that you're sharing with the world. Because in this rapidly changing world, the economy is changing, and we're becoming more digital. And what I do notice is that if you can catch people's attention in the first 5 seconds of a blog post, a social media post, a video, that can really help to drive increased views, increase followers, increase attention, and increase your brand reputation as far as building some kind of familiarity that you are an expert, you are the go-to page or the go-to person to go to. And I quite often ask all of you in my Instagram stories. So Dylan asks how to make, hey Jan, thank you so much for joining. Dylan asks how to make a newsletter. I use Canva to make newsletters. If you have a built-in WordPress, you should be able to do it. I know with Wix.com, they offer like a free template because I bought the URL name. So I can actually do internal newsletters through my website. I'm not sure if WordPress has it, but I know that Canva, they have like newsletters where you can put hyperlinks and stuff like that. I think in order to, you have to pay for them to actually have the newsletter in an email format, because if you don't pay with Canva, you'd have to create a hyperlink in the email, and the person has to link and it goes out to a fresh new page on a like internet browser, so to say. But that's definitely a way that you could do it. Quincy says, that makes so much sense, testing the market with new content. I generally make content in 3-month cycles with the different themes in there and take a month break. Is that approach effective? I think that's a great idea. I think it's a great idea to test out instead of 2 weeks, 3 months, and especially if you had a following for a very long time, or if you fully understand your audience, is to test it out for 3 months. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm going to test out something for a month as well and see where this goes. But I think that's a great idea. I think if that's working for you, you should definitely keep going with that. And Dylan says, I use WordPress for my website. Okay, so I know how to use blogs for websites for WordPress, Dylan, but as far as like an email blast, I'm not too familiar with that. But I do know Canva offers newsletters, and if you pay a monthly subscription, and I'm sure there are other free softwares on the internet as well where you can use it and create a free newsletter as well. And that's it for the most part. You can definitely keep asking your questions. The second part of this chat is Instagram Reels. Let me know on the line if anybody here has been using Instagram Reels. Instagram Reels is a new video sharing feature. If you click your stories and you swipe to the right at the bottom, you'll see Reels. And I really like Reels because I've been using it for about 5 days. I post at least one Instagram Reel per day. And most of those videos are coming from TikTok, which is really amazing. Oh, you're welcome. And with the Reels, yesterday morning I uploaded a Reel and it automatically went to the discovery page, which was really awesome. I think Reels is not going to be as effective as TikTok, but the good news about it is you can take some of your stories even, and just as a recommendation, because I'm noticing that I'm getting hundreds of views within hours or within days on my Reels videos, is try to make sure that it's educational and it applies to what you do best, because you only have 15 seconds with Instagram Reels. It's a great way to just kind of test the Reels market. I do know that a very small percentage of people on Instagram are using this feature, which makes it a great opportunity for each and every one of us that can take some of our stories or take some of our longer videos and cut it down and edit it to 15 seconds. It's a great opportunity to get noticed by other people that are watching Reels. And if your video ends up on the discovery page, that is open to anybody across the globe to see, which in turn continues to build your brand if it keeps showing up in their discovery page. Because on Instagram, each of us has a different discovery page. It's based on what we've looked at in the past, and then Instagram just kind of puts out those videos and those topics because that's what they're used to you seeing. Thanks for joining Pebbles Polish. And as far as Instagram Reels is concerned, yeah, make it fun, make it short. You can use music on Instagram Reels, and you can put text on Instagram Reels. It's kind of similar to TikTok, but I would definitely take advantage of it if you currently are not, because again, I uploaded and I believe that Instagram put me on the discovery page yesterday because the topic that I did on my Reels was how to do, or the benefits of doing Instagram. Oh, thank you. The benefits of doing Instagram Reels videos. So it ended up quickly on the, not the For You page, but the discovery page. And I believe that it could be another strategy. Other ways to get more customers is if you're not seeing an uptick in customers on social media, is to join local networking events and online events in your city or your particular niche, and try to network with people. I personally would go to a networking event of a group of people that would have your potential customers. So for example, I wouldn't go to too many networking events that are mainly in branding and marketing and social media. I'd actually prefer to be in a networking event with a bunch of entrepreneurs and business owners from different industries, because I'll be the only person in the room that has that skill set, or at least one of the 2 or 3. And that's a great way to create awareness for your business. Quite often what I notice on networking events, whether they're virtual and you just decide to kind of like go into a LinkedIn group chat or a Facebook group, or you decide to start going out in your city, is when you're telling people your story, and they see the passion and why you started your business, it really helps them to say, well, I know somebody that might be interested, or I know somebody that is looking for this, I'll get you connected. So I always like to tell people that in addition to being on social media, doing our YouTube, our TikTok, our LinkedIn, and our Instagram, it's always good to have a network of conversations going on outside of the internet, because this world is going to become a digital world, but it doesn't mean that when you go to a birthday party, or when you go to church, or when you have to pick up something at the bank and your teller is asking you how you're doing, it doesn't hurt to say, this is what I've been up to. I've been feeling really great, or I've been feeling overwhelmed because of XYZ, and I've been focusing on my business. And then that goes into a conversation about what you do and how you help people every day. So I hope this Instagram Live has been helpful. I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up with your questions. Today at 3:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, that's 4:40 p.m., 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be going live. I'm going live with Teresa and her sister of Zip Chicks. She is a local business owner in my area. They sell organic or alternative food, so to say, and hemp is the main product that they are showcasing. And I look forward to speaking to her tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Edmonton Business Show also continues, not just today but tomorrow, but I will be interviewing Quincy of Hello Coach K, and we will be talking about her career, startup, how it's like to be a female founder in the startup industry, how her consulting business is going, etc., etc. So I'm going to end this off. If you're new to my page and you're watching this, click the follow button. If anybody is watching this that has any questions, feel free to share a comment below or send me a direct message, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.